Welcome back to Briggs on Books, our truly international talk show. Our third guest today is from England. Third guest from England today, I should say it that way. We had a Canadian guest, and Americans better get on the ball if they want to keep up in their writing with and compete with the people from the UK. Hey, are you trying to pick the next book you're going to read? Check out this one, The Find. Wait till you hear about it. It's amazing, amazing story, topic, and well written as well. Not only do I have the book here, The Find, I have the author here as well, Anna M Holmes. Welcome, Anna.
Hi there, Mike, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated by this book. Tell a little bit about what it's about. Tell our viewers.
Right, so it's called The Find, as you see, and it is about a body, the find. So we get the body really early on, but it's not so much as solving the mystery, so it's not that kind of a mystery. But so it's a bog body. It's set on Ireland, and it's human remains found deep in a peat bog. So I don't know how many of your listeners know what bog bodies are.
We have no idea. That's why it was fascinating.
It's a really fascinating thing, particularly in Europe. There's a number of them in Denmark. Mm-hmm. So you've had hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, someone has fallen into the marshes, or this is the thing, deliberately being sacrificed and put into the water, and over the centuries, thousands of years, it forms into a peat bog and deeper, and there's no oxygen there. The acids in the peat, they preserve the body, and you can see the walls on the fingers. You can see it's like a tan body, so it's quite an extraordinary thing. Mm-hmm. So that's the find. That's what my body is. That's the find, and we call him Balabia Man.
So there's such a thing as
starts off from that.
There's such a thing as a bog, and something in the bog might be preserved for
completely
thousands
of years.
Yeah.
So this is a real thing. There are museums set up with the exhibitions of this, and where I've set my novel in Ireland, the Archaeological Museum in Dublin has a whole it's a permanent display called Kingship and Sacrifice, and that's where they have got finds they've got on display. Plus, they've got lots of information that they've found out about the rituals that go on with it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the background. Pretty early on, we get this body, we start to clean it up, and it's the really who and what. It's how the story spirals. It's a ripple effect that I have going on.
Now, it's a novel. Right? It's not
absolutely. It's a novel. It's absolutely a novel.
Okay.
So,
but it could be true. This is something that could happen and does happen sometimes.
Yeah, and honestly, my main character is an archaeologist. Uh-huh. She's a body specialist, and she's the assistant keeper at the museum.
Right.
There really is such a post.
Yeah.
There really is such a specialist, but they're not having to deal with what I put them through. But I did consult with a real bog body scientist for the science part of my story.
I bet you did, yeah.
It's no one's going to read and think, well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Yeah. There's some science underpinning it, but that's not what my story's about really. It's the ripple effect of who might this be, and from just then it's a ripple effect of going out from the country, from Ireland to international, but everyone's got an angle.
Yeah.
So Carrie, my main character, gets caught up with that all, the speculation.
It's complicated, I could imagine. But I love this kind of book because it's written to be entertainment, yet I'm going to learn something I know nothing about, and I love to do that too. Peat bogs in Ireland. I had my ancestry done and looked at my DNA, and I have a quite diverse background, but every single person I'm descended from is from these little islands, England and Ireland and Scotland.
Yep.
So I'm always anxious to learn about that area.
Yeah, and one of my characters is also, from Ireland and in the States, and my main character, Carrie, I have her a New Zealander, whereas I'm from originally, because out of all the things I didn't know and had to learn, I thought, let me ground my main character into something I can really get a handle on, because the rest was all research. Mm-hmm. So Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you did a lot of research for this book.
I did. I had fun with that. I
Yeah.
love
Me
researching.
too.
I used to be a journalist way back, and I loved that. And so, but and the thing about bogs is, apart from what I've talked about, the science of preserving, there's also the spiritual thing of bogs. They were in between places, between sea and land, and between this world and the other world. And you would get bubbles coming up and fire at the will of the wisps. So they were seen as a bit of a scary place. So, and portals to like the hell or something below. So there's that aspect of bogs as well that kind of comes into my story a little bit.
Fascinating. The whole thing is fascinating to me. I don't get to say that very often, but there's something that really exists that I didn't know existed. Now I'm going to get to learn about it. Who's going to want to read your book? What's the genre, and who do you think will be reading this?
Yeah, well, I would say, I'd say people who like mysteries, but if they're looking for a cop sort of finding a dead body and solving it and that sort of thing, it's not that sort of book. So I like to write thought-provoking novels, kind of big subjects or deep subjects that get people talking, and for book clubs and things like that. But if they are written as page turners, all my books, people say, we just wanted to read on. So that's important to me, that it's quite lightly written, but with quite deep things going on.
Now, this is your third book?
It is.
Yeah, I saw.
And I'm working on a fourth.
Right before I go on the air with an author, I look at their Amazon page one last time and see what's up. I notice those other two books. What are the genres of the first two books?
Well, I know that it's probably not good for my audience or marketing and stuff, but I do like to write in different genres because it really just depends on the subject. So my first one was historical fiction because it was based on Anne Bonny and Mary Read, who are pirates, and I got interested in them before Pirates of the Caribbean came out, and before the wealth of pirate books. I just was fascinated with them. So that was that one. Then I wrote one which is an eco thriller because and that's based on illegal logging, because that's something my partner has been involved with, saving rainforests with sustainable timber for a long time. So that's different. And then the one I'm working on in the future, the one I've finished and I'm just finalizing and going to reach out to agents, is historical fiction, and that's set in the world of theatre, which is my area. Finally, I'm getting to something which is my expertise.
Nice. Now, congratulations is what I'm trying to say. Is I have so many viewers who are writing their book and they're trying to get to the end and having trouble putting down the pencil and going to the next step, which they don't even know what the next step is, but you've done it 3 times. Is it getting smoother and easier? I don't mean the writing part, but once you finish writing?
It doesn't get easier. I think that with this one, the one I'm working on, I'm going to be reaching out to an agent. I think the marketing of books is really tricky. So, like appearing on your show, things like this, to reach out to be visible. That's the difficult thing for authors, because there's a lot of us out there, a lot of books out there, and to find your readers. Yeah,
I read I'm always looking for my next book, and there's millions of books out there. And just sometimes seeing the author on a talk show like this really helps me. And I say, oh, good, I know that person a little bit now. I'm going to read her book. So
yeah, it's nice, isn't it? That personal connection.
By the way, I know we're past time. They're giving me the signal, but tell me about your website. We have it up on the screen there, AnnaMHolmes.com.
That's right.
What would our viewers find there?
On the homepage, there will be links to my books. So there's a tab with the 3 books with opening chapters on it, and there's some interview things, and there's also reviews. There's pages of reviews. And I think important to say, if people are interested in what I'm writing, they can sign up to my newsletter. That's there as well.
That's great. Yeah, Anna and I were talking about this before we come on there to our viewers. If you go to Amazon, wherever you like to buy books, type Anna M Holmes, and they just pop right up. So that's how you find her. Anna, sorry we're out of time already. Any last thoughts you want to tell our viewers about your books or about you or anything in the world?
No, I think that's fine. But if people get interested in coming to my website to find out a little more, then that would be absolutely brilliant.
Yep, that's great. Yeah, go to the website. It's there on the screen at annamholmes.com. Buy the books. Trick I tell you guys, don't buy one book. If you go to Amazon or wherever,
Absolutely.
click 5 times, order
all
5
there.
copies, give them away. Whenever I go to someone's house, I want to take a gift, I take a book. And next time I come, even if it's years later, that book is always still there. So it's great to give books for birthdays, Christmases, just have them around. So Anna, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm absolutely fascinated by the find, and I will be reading it soon. Then maybe I'll have you back and we'll talk about it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mike.
All right, Anna. And we'll be back with another author right after this.